I support a ban on members of Congress trading individual stocks. I also think people need to look at the President of the United States. It is massive corruption going on in the White House. The Swiss basically gave him a personalized gold bar. The country of Qatar gave him a used jumbo jet. You've got his family making huge amounts of money off of crypto, and the president pardoned a criminal because that person was with a company that helps his family with crypto. The amount of corruption in the White House is insane, unconscionable levels. And in addition to the Stock Act, we need to look at putting some real serious ethics into the White House.
The empire Trump built on sand is finally collapsing right in front of him. Just hours ago, House Democrats held a blistering press conference ahead of the Epstein-file's release, laying out a staggering amount of corruption tied directly to Trump's White House. And it gets even darker. A newly leaked video now claims Jeffrey Epstein was working directly with Israeli intelligence. This is the kind of revelation that ends careers, and trust me, Trump's is hanging by a thread. It's only taken a few weeks for the entire facade to crack. And the craziest part? Trump is now openly threatening multiple Democrats who are trying to expose all of this. The meltdown is real, the panic is visible, and the President of the United States is lashing out as the walls close in around him.
This is the President of the United States standing beside his best friend, Jeffrey Epstein. As we all know, Mr. Epstein is one of the most notorious sexual predators in American history. For 8 weeks, the Republicans on this committee have chosen to protect these two men instead of providing justice to Mr. Epstein's victims. Now the administration is panicking. First, they campaigned on releasing the Epstein files. Then AG Bondi and Associates did a photo op with the files, and she said, and I quote, "The Epstein list is on my desk." Then somehow the Epstein list didn't exist. Then the Epstein files became a Democratic hoax. Now the president is supposedly supportive of releasing the files, even though he's currently ignoring a congressional subpoena to do so. Now the president is simply crashing out. And it's because he can't seem to explain his special decades-long relationship with one of the most prominent sexual predators in American history. It's already public that he's in the Epstein files, but his administration is hiding the context of his involvement, if any, with Mr. Epstein's horrific crime.
And if you think Trump is only crumbling over the Epstein files, you're missing the bigger picture. Because the real crisis isn't just Epstein. Most people have no idea what's happening right in front of their eyes. They think Trump's connection to Saudi Arabia is just a business deal, but that's completely false. The truth is far more dangerous. The Saudis got national security favors. They gained access to some of America's most sensitive technology and military systems. And in return, Trump got personally enriched. This isn't just corruption, it's old-school geopolitical sellout corruption on a level we've never seen before. And Senator Chris Murphy broke it down perfectly. Here's what he said.
So you probably saw that Mohammed bin Salman, the Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia, visited the White House yesterday. You might have seen this insane clip.
He's done a phenomenal job. You're mentioning somebody that was extremely controversial. A lot of people didn't like that gentleman that you're talking about. Whether you like him or didn't like him, things happen. But he knew nothing about it, and we can leave it at that. You don't have to embarrass our guest by asking a question like that.
That's essentially the President of the United States excusing the murder of Jamal Khashoggi. Mohammed bin Salman murdered this journalist who was living in the United States at the time, cut him into pieces, and ended up not getting away with it. But Trump is trying to help him get away with it. But what you really need to know is that the relationship between the United States and Saudi Arabia is not about our national security at all. It's not about human rights. It's not about protecting democracy. It's just about making Trump rich. The relationship between Saudi Arabia and Donald Trump is a two-way transaction in which the Saudis get national security favors from the United States, and Donald Trump gets rich in return by the Saudis making investments in his companies and cutting him in on lucrative deals. In Donald Trump's second term, this White House has been willing to do things for Saudi Arabia that no president in the past has ever been willing to do. For example, Donald Trump is going to sell Saudi Arabia our most sensitive aerial technology, the F-35 fighter jet. He's willing to send our most sensitive AI chips to Saudi Arabia, something that we do not do except under the most exceptional circumstances. And in return, the Saudis aren't doing anything to enhance American national security. They're just making investments in Trump's personal wealth. What are they doing? Well, they've already made a massive investment, a multi-billion-dollar investment in Jared Kushner's private equity firm. The Saudi Golf League is in business with Trump's golf properties here in the United States, making him millions and millions of dollars. And most recently, the Saudis just decided to cut the president in on this massive $70 billion project to build a new luxury community in Saudi Arabia. So this is a corrupt relationship. You see these visuals of Trump sitting next to this regal-looking foreign leader in the White House, and you could be fooled into thinking this is normal foreign policy. It's not. It's us giving Saudi Arabia things that they want, and Saudi Arabia not helping the United States, but helping Donald Trump become rich. That's the true story, and it's a fundamentally corrupt story.
And just out of curiosity, ask yourself this. How is he protecting himself in every possible way, and why? Because none of this makes sense for a president. If you truly cared about your people, your citizens, your own country, you wouldn't be bending over backwards to shield foreign billionaires or foreign governments. Yet Trump keeps doing it. And this was Trump's stance back then. And now just look at these videos.
Saudi Arabia giving $25 million, Qatar, all of these countries. These are people that kill women and treat women horribly, and yet you take their money.
Not a gift to me, it's a gift to the Department of Defense, and you should know better.
Why don't you give back the money that you've taken from certain countries that treat certain groups of people so horribly?
You should be embarrassed asking that question. They're giving us a free jet. I could say, no, don't give us, I want to pay you $1 billion or 400 million or whatever it is. Or I could say, thank you very much.
Why don't you give back the money? I think it would be a great gesture.
I thought it was a beautiful gesture. Now, there are those that say we shouldn't be accepting gifts to the Defense Department. And I would say only a stupid person would say that. It should have never happened. And I think you owe an explanation to the American people. We're giving to everybody else. Why wouldn't I accept the gift? If I ever said that, that's quid pro quo.
See, back then he stood on stage pretending to be the hero who protects women, pointing at other countries and saying they kill women, acting like he was some moral warrior. But now he's taking every advantage he can get from those same regimes, cashing in, praising them, and hiding behind them. And when you see the next video, you'll understand why he keeps doing business in the Middle East while ignoring the suffering, the chaos, and the crisis here at home. There's a reason he prioritizes Saudi princes over American families. And once you watch this clip, that reason becomes terrifyingly clear.
So let's get to some of the headlines that were featured over at Drop Site News, because they poured over the Ehud Barak emails to Epstein, which of course were leaked as part of a hack. They also reported on the various documents and emails that were released by both Democrats and Republicans in the House Oversight Committee. So with that in mind, I mean, this is based on hard evidence. They were able to report the following stories. Epstein helped broker an Israeli security agreement with Mongolia. Interesting. Epstein helped Israel build a back channel to Russia during the Syrian civil war. That's not all. Epstein helped Israel sell a surveillance state to the Ivory Coast.
And it's not only that, it gets even darker. It's now been revealed that Jeffrey Epstein funneled $40 million into Palantir chairman Peter Thiel's Valar Ventures, a New York-based venture capital firm. And this is where the real fear begins inside the intelligence world. Because once these files drop, they won't just expose names, they could expose the entire machinery behind Epstein, the economic manipulation, the political engineering, and the covert influence operations tied to CIA, Mossad, even the old KGB networks. Let me show you exactly how deep this web goes. Antony Blinken, the current US Secretary of State, is the stepson of Samuel Pisar, a lawyer and close confidant of Robert Maxwell. Maxwell wasn't just a businessman. He was a known Mossad asset, and the father of Ghislaine Maxwell, Epstein's partner and a Mossad-linked operative herself. And for anyone who doesn't know, Epstein was not just a financier. He was widely believed to be working as a Mossad agent, running influence operations for decades. So when people ask why there is mass panic in D.C., why the intelligence community is scrambling, and why Trump, MAGA Mike, and every Republican leader suddenly flipped on the Epstein files, this is why. The moment those files open, the entire global power network behind Epstein might unravel. And the hypocrisy hits even harder when you watch what happened the moment a reporter asked him to release the Epstein files right now.
Mr. President, why wait for Congress to release the Epstein files? Why not just do it now?
You know, it's not the question that I mind, it's your attitude. I think you are a terrible reporter. It's the way you ask these questions. You start off with a man who's highly respected, asking him a horrible, insubordinate, and just a terrible question. And you could even ask that same exact question nicely. You're all psyched up. Somebody psychs you over at ABC. They're going to psych. You're a terrible person and a terrible reporter. As far as the Epstein files is, I have nothing to do with Jeffrey Epstein. I threw him out of my club many years ago because I thought he was a sick pervert.
And I'm not even going to say anything right now, because even the radical left themselves just got completely thrown off by what happened. They're confused, stunned, and honestly trying to process this mess in real time. Just watch this video and you'll understand exactly what I'm talking about.
I know you want to move past all this intrigue over the Epstein files, but I do want to ask you to clarify something you said this morning. You said this was all a hoax. Has your attorney
It's a big hoax.
told you this was a hoax? What evidence?
No, it's not the Attorney General. No, I know it's a hoax. It's started by Democrats. It's been run by the Democrats for 4 years. You had Christopher Wray and these characters and Comey before him. And it's a bad group. It started, actually, look at the Steele dossier that turned out to be a total hoax. The 51 agents, the intelligence, so-called intelligence agents, it was a hoax. It's all been a big hoax. It's perpetrated by the Democrats. And some stupid Republicans and foolish Republicans fall into the net. And so they try and do the Democrats' work.
Look, I'm happy to be stupid. I'm happy to be foolish. I was very happy to be a person in the basket of the deplorables. The ad hominem stuff doesn't mean anything to me, especially when it comes to a ring that involves harming children. Okay? I just think that this is so ridiculous to try to divide people and make it seem like it's a fight between the left and the right. It's not that. We are, in fact, not stupid, but we're happy to have you call those names. And when I hear him say that, it just inspires me more to look into this. I really think that nothing should commit us further to wanting to unpack the Epstein story than the amount of gaslighting that is currently taking place.
At this point, the lies are collapsing faster than they can rebuild them. Every clip, every vote, every leaked document pushes the truth further into the light. And trust me, this isn't slowing down. If anything, it's about to get even louder. So stay locked in, stay sharp, and be ready, because the next few days are going to change everything.